Hey everybody, welcome to Hilltop Machine Works. So I cleaned up the bottoms and threw some paint on them, and we'll let those dry as we go tackle the top cover. So let me get back over to the welding table. So let's get onto the top cover, and as you can see laid out, I picked up some brass cutoffs. The guy was selling them, you know, get them in any size you wanted, and these are 5x5 because the inner diameter right here is right there at 5 inches. So turn you in a little bit, you can see better. Look at that right there. So it's going to sit perfect on that lip. So that way I don't have to do much machining on it. But what we do need to do, obviously, is cut these corners so we get a nice 5-inch in diameter piece of top cover. So she'll go right there. And obviously there's several ways to attack this. If I wanted to spend the time and grind a high-speed tool to tree pan these and you know, mount the faceplate and find a good way to stick them, and then I need to hold it and be able to just cut it, is one way we could do it. Another way, obviously, we could get it on the rotary table and you know, have to do hold downs on these 4 sides, you know, mill a corner and then remove the clamp, you know, mill a corner, put the clamp back. We could do it that way. And I think the simplest way for this job, since we only need 2 of them, is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to find center, and then I'll know exactly how much to take off in these corners, and I'll mark that. And I think I'm just going to take the skill saw with that metal blade and just buzz them off real quick, take them over to the belt sander, get them nice and round, and we'll be good to go, plain and simple. So first let me tape them up so they're not too scratch them, so they look good. They look pretty good. I'll find the best 2. That's like a factory line in it. I don't know, that's pretty scratched up, so if I use that one, that would be a bottom. That one's pretty scratched up too. That would be a bottom. So I might do these 2 on the tops. So let me get this knocked out. I'm not going to waste any time showing it. It's not that big of a deal, and I'll bring you back once I get both of them cut. Alrighty, just finished cutting her all 4 corners, took it over to the belt sander, got her pretty round. So let's see how we did. Hope it fits. Oh yeah, look at that. Wow, I couldn't have done any better if I'd have tree panned that. Perfect. Sweet. Alrighty, I'll get the tape off of this one, and then I'll have to tape that one up over there, and obviously rinse and repeat. Sweet, it's coming along. Nice. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. I turned the light off so it wouldn't wash out, but I think she came out really good. I buffed it a little bit. Still got some superficial scratches on it, but I don't think it will be that big of a deal. Once we get the switch and stuff mounted here, we got to mill a slot and drill a couple holes, so there'll be enough business going on to help detract from any of the light scratches. But I think she fits good, so sweet. Well, I think it's time now to make the, I don't know, lack of better words, a mounting bracket for our little switch here. It's got a key in it. It's pretty cool. So it'll be, you know, off and then on. So it looks kind of like an ignition key. It looked bigger in the pictures, but this will work. Actually, it'll work out pretty good because the bar. So I'm thinking about milling off this part of the angle because this will give us a nice flat. And this is how the key would sit. You know, we'll cut her off about here. So what we'll have to do is basically mill this part off, and then we'll have to drill a hole. And this is like 29/64 for the hole for this to slip in to. And then also we'll have to basically mill in like a countersink so we'd have room for the back nut. And the biggest part here is so we're at 551, and then from here to here 621. So do a 625 end mill. That should fit nice and snug. Oh, hold on, that's not right. There you go. If I can get her straight. That'll be close. I wonder if that's metric. Alright, 16 mil. Alrighty, so let me get this piece cut off, figure out what that angle is, and we'll get over to the mill. Well, I just knocked out this first one. I'm going to pull it out and see if I like it. The angle that I chose ended up being like 33 degrees. Of course, couldn't be something normal, so I decided to go with 35-degree angle blocks. That's what it's sitting on, and I just milled it out and got a nice flat. So if this is what I like, then I'll cut another piece and we'll stick it in here, and I'll get some footage of the milling action. Got you set up here, 3/4 inch 4-flute end mill, running about 850 RPM, and right now I got about 50 thou. I'm just going to chew her down. Nothing spectacular. Let me knock this down and I'll bring you back for a couple final passes. Last pass. Alright, let's get her out. Alright, just going to drill a through hole. Ah! And it grabbed my bit, darn it. I hate brass sometimes. Well, I got her out. It did not win, so there it is. So Let's get the hole enlarged now. Let me turn the phase converter on. That would help, wouldn't it? Houston, we have power. Slow her down a tad. Make sure we clear our parallels. There's a hard spot right there. And that's why it grabbed. There you go. We are through. Okay, just ran chamfering tool around it, cleaned the hole up, and we have our switch hole. So I am going to rinse and repeat on the second one, and then once I get the second one done, we'll have to flip them over and mill out the bottom section so we've got our recessed for the nut to fit in here so we can tighten her down. And we'll get that tomorrow because it's late and it's time to go inside and cook some steaks. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. That's the second one. I just finished drilling it. It drilled just fine. You know, this first one had that hard spot in it. I don't know if you noticed as I was going through, and that's why it grabbed and broke a bit, but no problems drilling to that one. And now I'm just going to get the parallels out, clean all that out, or I'm sorry, the angle blocks, get the parallels in. I've got a gauge pin, we'll locate the hole, and then we'll just come in and we're going to mill a pocket. I'll use a 3/4 end mill. That way that will accommodate the 14mm socket that can reach down in there and tighten the nut on the back of the switch. And then what we'll have to do is drill a couple small holes and tap them, and then of course polish it up. Hopefully you can see that good. Just gonna mill out the pocket now. I'm looking to get my 0 on the other side of that hole, and from there I'll go 250. Mentioned earlier, 3/4 inch end mill. And we're almost there. Alright, we'll go from there. Reset 0. That's 100th thou. We're at that's 150. Let me check it. Don't want to do a bozo. I'm just taking another 50 for a total of 200. I think I'm gonna like that better than 250. Hate to shoot through. And that's it. Yeah, that was good. I like that. All right. And I'll just do the other one off camera. So I got the switch installed. I gotta give you a look. There it is, there's the bottom. Got just perfect clearance. Get the socket down on there so I can get the nut screwed down so the switch doesn't move. And you put the key in. So it'll be like that. Turn the lamp on. Like you turn the car on, zoom zoom. Turn it off. So there we go. We can mark this off the list. I think now what I'm going to do is we're going to move over to the welding table, and we got to figure out about milling the slot in that top cover. Back over at the welding table, and what I'm talking about is, you know, this cover, brass cover, it goes in right here. We need to mill a slot, so we got nice room for the support to go in. Let me get you in frame a little bit better to go in. So I think I measured it, and I think if we do about an inch and about 300 thou should do it. And I built this mini pallet a while back, so this will be a perfect job for it. I think what we'll do is get the brass covers. I'll tape them back up so they'll protect them, not to get them scratched. We'll get it sit down on a couple parallels, so I've got clearance between the cover and the mini pallet, so I don't have to you know, sacrifice this if I don't need to. And we'll get this all strapped down, and we'll run that 20 mil end mill in, you know, buzzer in, cutter slot. And I'm thinking I'm probably going to move over maybe about 5 thou each way to give me clearance, just to be on the safe side. So there's plenty of room, so we only have to do this in one shot instead of try to check it and we're off, and then we've got to you know, try to find our zero again and try to redo it. So let me get all this stuff set up at the mill, and I'll bring you guys over there. All clamped down and set up over here at the mill. So if you guys are new to machining, this is a good project for you guys, making a mini pallet. That way you can learn basic milling operations, you know, squaring things up, cleaning the surface, drilling, tapping, you know, making clamps. And then of course, as you can see, the project doesn't just sit in the toolbox or on the shelf. You actually have a useful tool. So got it all set up. Just ran an edge finder from here over here, kind of verify my center there. Just drew a line, basically the route we're going to take, and we'll just come in. Once I touch off here, we'll go an inch and 300 thou, and also put 2 extra bolts back here since all the force is trying to push the thing that way. So let me turn the rotary phase converter on and get you guys set up in a good position. Okay, I just found the edge and I zeroed my X, so I'm going to feed her in and see how she does. Using that 2 flute 20 mil end mill, running 800 RPMs. It'll probably be easy going until we get to the half depth of the cutter. And we're about there. So let's see how she goes. So far it feels good. Just hand feeding. All right, that's half a thou. Coming up on our numbers now. All right, that's 1 inch, 300 thou. I'm going to take an extra 5 on each side. So let me pull it in here just to make sure we got room. And I'll conventional mill it on out. All right, let me lock there. All right, let me do the other way. We'll go back in. And we are there. Bingo. Nice. All right, let's see how we did. So here's the plate that we milled the slot in. And now, moment of truth. So if it's going to sit like right in here, it's a little snug because of the tape. Ooh. I think we just got her. Let me get her in frame. And come on, baby. Oh, woo. I like it when it comes together. Sweet. So that's the way she'll look. Man, that just came out perfect. Couldn't have planned it better. I'm glad I took that extra 5 thou off each side just to give it room, because you can feel it. I mean, it's just there. So nice. Let me do the other one off camera. And we're getting really close to being done. We'll have to get a hole drilled for this because the switch protrudes out of the bottom. And then we'll also have to drill a couple of holes, I'm thinking probably from the bottom up, and just tap the holes here so that way it will hold the switch down. And it'll look like that, and it'll kind of look like that. So you guys kind of see, and the switch will be there. And of course, the mounting screws that go here, we'll have to mark those holes and, you know, just drill through holes for that. But getting close. And then we need to obviously clean this up, get rid of these mill marks, and buff and shine this thing, and break any edges that may still be there. So, cool. So I think we're going to go ahead and mark the mounting screws. So I just got some transfer screws here we'll use. And they screw in right here. Get it started. There may be a burr on that. Come on now. Alright, hang on. Let me get the install tool here. That'd make it easier. Yep. Well, I thought so. Come on. There must be something there. Hold on, let me clean that. Alrighty, I had to clean the threads. Guess maybe I got a little bit of weld stuff in them. But now we're good. I'll go ahead and get these sit down in there. And once you get our cover, I'm going to put the scratchy side down. All right, and let me get something soft. Hang on. Alrighty, piece of cardboard help protect this brass, and the hammer here. See what our marks look like. Okay, there it is, one, and there's the other one. Nice. Okay, I'll go drill a couple holes. You don't need me to see that. I've got these switch blocks over here in the vise. Gonna do a quick fly cut on this face right here. I didn't like the marks that the end mill left. It was a regrind. You can see it left a couple lines and even some light sand in it. Didn't clean it out. So just going to do a quick skim pass on camera. Just take a few thou off, should all we need to clean it up. There you go, nice. I think our next step now is to figure out getting the block mounted, and I kind of laid it out how I want her. So she's going to sit right there. Got her all centered up. And then that way we'll go ahead, I think, coming at that angle, just kind of use the rule and kind of figure out. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to punch a 5/8 inch end mill down through there, and that should give us plenty to have this switch stick through and you know, access the wire terminals. Excuse me, my nose wants to twitch there. And then we'll have to drill a couple small holes up through here, and then drill and tap, and that'll just hold this block down. A couple small ones is all we need. It's not going to go anywhere. And once we do that, I think that is all of the fabricating and machining. Everything's done. Would be to do a final check, make sure all the edges are and all the holes are deburred, do a final cleanup and buff, and then assemble this thing. So we are almost wrapped up. And as you can see, that I think that fly cut was the way to go, because it really came out nice on that face there. Just plunging with a 2-foot end mill. Of course, I got some crazy harmonics with this setup. I didn't feel like pulling the mini pallet out just to run this hole through. All right, we're through. Let me go grab the block with the switch in it and see how it fits. And let's see what we got here. So if the block sits here. All right. I like it. Sweet. So now I'm just going to go ahead and drill these 2 holes. Let me check the hardware. I can't remember what I got. I think I got 1032s. Okay, the hole's drilled. Well, I certainly had to get creative to try to hold this thing. I needed like 4 hands, and the brass is really slick, and the block wanted to slide. And of course, I got to try to hold it and then turn it upside down. It just wasn't working, so I'm gonna go handheld a second. This is the funky setup I had to do. So I had to use a machinist vise, and underneath there I've got an adjustable parallel. So I adjusted that to the right height to hold the block. And then, I don't know if you can see it real well, I got the block lined up the way I wanted. So then I could come back here and get to the holes and mark them. I don't know if you can see the holes. I got 2 little tiny Sharpie marks in there. So holes are marked, so I'm going to drill them. So I just finished drilling the holes. Nothing spectacular, and I'm just going to hand tap it with a Starrett 174. And let's see, I drilled the holes about 400 thou, and my big hands are going to be in the way until I get this thing started. These are 832s that I picked up at the hardware store. She's starting slowly. Small tap. I hate to break it in a brass after we've come this far. Finishing up the second hole with the bottom and tap. So far, I jinxed myself. Bozo hasn't made an appearance today, even though the weather is nice and I got the shop door open. He's spending his time somewhere else, which I am glad. No broken taps. Yay. So let's get this over to the bench and get it assembled. A little bit of Alright. Let's get this thing assembled on the bottom end and see what she looks like. So, excuse me guys, there's the plate with the hole. There's our block. And here's our threaded holes. And looks like we are going to line up good. Trying to do this in frame. Tell you, brass sure is slick. Stuff just wants to slide around. Stay in position here. There's our switch, cool. And then getting in frame for you guys. Let's see, she'll come down here like this, and let's get a pole and locate. And then these are going to go here. Hold the top cover on. Yeah, nice. All right. And then the lamp is off. Lamp is on, off, on. Cool. I think that ignition switch adds character to it. I like it. Very, very good. Coming together. So I need to do the other one. I'll do that off camera. And I'll go ahead and get to everything polished up one last time, and we'll get this thing assembled. And this project will be done. So I figured I'd bring you guys up to speed. I am just wiring this now. And this is the back side. Put a Hilltop Machine Works sticker there and the date. Eventually I probably need to get some nice tags made from that guy Tom that Adam and Keith Rucker both showcased on their channels. But this will do for now. So just getting her wired up, nothing fancy. Figured I'd bring you a short clip. Well, there you go, guys. It is complete. So I think it came out awesome, and the switch works perfect. I like it. So I kind of give you, let me turn it off so it ain't too washed out. But do a little overview of it. And I don't know if it's going to look washed out up above, but and there's the top. And a nice side view of it. And there's what the back looks like all assembled. So came out pretty cool. Nice fun project. This lamp is going to be sitting on my toolbox over there. And let me turn the camera around and we'll do a recap. Okay, so I think the plan of attack is going to be I am going to sell the other lamp, and that'll help to recoup some of these funds, because the brass ended up being a lot more expensive than I had thought. Believe it or not, I got like $100 in brass in this project. So yeah, these two lamps got a little expensive to build. You know, I got the valve covers for 10, but I got them powder coated, and I like them. They look great. They've been better than spray painting them. So that was $40. So we got 50 bucks in the valve covers. So that takes us to $150, and then the little switches, the light bulbs, the sockets, all that added up to like another 30 bucks or so. So we're at like 180 right there. So yeah, like I said, tad bit pricey, but they're cool. They're one of a kind, unique. So I'm glad I did this. I hope you guys enjoyed the project. Let me know in the comments how you like this stuff, and let me know in the comments also what you think about the second lamp, because if I do sell it, then I'm going to keep it unassembled, because if I try to ship it like this, it'll never survive shipping through UPS or USPS. They destroy the lamp. So if you're interested in the lamp, leave in the comments. And I can either sell it through that way, and we can talk through my email, or I may throw it on eBay and sell it that way. I'm not sure yet, but I do want to sell the second lamp, so that's why the second lamp is not assembled. And I guess with that, guys, is a wrap. I said hope you enjoy the 4-part series, and hey, give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down there. That way I know you're out there, and you'll get the latest and greatest content, and you'll be notified of the videos when they come out. And as always, we'll see you and catch you on the next project.